Will we play even a single snap in our freshman year? We may find that out today. We'll see how far into our freshman year we actually get here. But as of right now, we are the running back number 4. We still have 11 skill points to use, but I want to go ahead and take care of the weekly agenda and the practice stuff first. However, before we even jump into that stuff, I want to show you guys that I am changing the wear and tear settings just because from what I've seen, the wear and tear can be kind of brutal in Road to Glory, so I've decided to go ahead and nerf that just a bit. But as for our weekly agenda, we're probably just going to spend at least some points every week to get a skill point. And honestly, I think we can go ahead and do it twice here, upgrade that just a bit, and then we'll spend some time studying. You definitely have to do that in this game, otherwise you will become ineligible, as many content creators and just players of the game are finding out. And right now, I am not going to spend any of our skill points. We're up to 13 of them, but as you can tell, increasing our speed costs 14 skill points. So we're going to need to save as many as possible because I want to get as fast as possible, because Shifty does not unlock until you have 92 speed, and that is really the one that I want. For our coach trust right now, we are sitting at 359, and the closest running back is apparently a ways away here, all the way at 12,800. So I don't think we're going to be challenging for a position battle anytime soon. The running back 2 is at 32,000. I can't even see what the running back 1 is at right now. So we are definitely buried on the depth chart down here, and it looks like the number 1 back is an 87 overall in Micah Ford. And unless we are a kick or punt returner, I don't think we're really going to see the field at all this season. We are not here for kick returning. For punt returner, we actually are the 3rd string right now, so there's a chance we get in on that if there's some serious injuries. And then our 3rd down back, we're not on the list, and our power back, we are not on the list. So pretty much every single week is just going to be me practicing and trying to build up some coach trust. And I honestly think the easiest way to do that is going to just be running the rushing attack drill here. As we get to the outside and outrun that guy, I'll just jump to the end of this. It shouldn't be a problem for me to get a gold badge in this one, so I'll just show you guys the final score. Well, we got it with 75,000 points, but I'll be completely honest, it was a bit harder than I remember it being last year, at least compared to Madden 25. So maybe they've actually upped the difficulty on that, which would be really nice, but we still got the gold. We now head into week number 1, where I've already taken care of the practice for this week as well, and we have the weekly agenda, obviously. We are going to use just a few points here on, I want to get more skill points, but also I don't want to fail anything. And that's going to cost 3 more energy to do that. So we're going to go ahead and just spend that on studying. So we're at least at scrape by, but you cannot leave it there. And we'll go ahead and recover ourselves just a little bit here. I said we were going to save it up because I wanted the speed upgrade. And with our 14 skill points, we are going to buy that. We go from an 87 to an 89 speed, but now we need another 14 skill points to up that again. We most likely will not get to touch the field, but let's jump into our very first game of our college career. Well, that thing is honestly kind of terrifying, I'm not going to lie to you, but we at least get to see Will Pearson run onto the field in a full setup of his uniform. Even though, like I said, we will probably not get to touch the field. And it looked like our starting running back, Micah Ford, was right in front of us. So we'll get to follow him out onto the field. And like I said in the last episode, the presentation in this game was just done terrifically. Obviously, there's still some stuff I really wish they could add. But for a, first step, this is amazing. All right, I'm getting a little concerned. It's a tie game. We just went into overtime with an FCS school. Did we escape here with a victory? It's showing our logo, so yes, we did. 33-31. It may be a fun season if an FCS school is taking us into overtime. What does our offensive coordinator, Jeff Nixon, want? Some of the starters are going to be watching some extra film this week after practice. I encourage you to come and sit in. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I don't want to upset the coaches here, so I believe that's going to actually get us a small XP boost, actually. And now Coach Fran Brown wants to talk to us. Our coaches have told me that your attitude has been really positive the last few weeks. They've been pleased with how you've been doing. Keep it up and good things will happen. So yeah, we'll give a polite answer and just move on. And honestly, I don't think that +2 to our speed did a whole lot, but it really feels like it did because we just got 90,000 on the rushing attack. And with our weekly agenda, I did have an idea because I could keep trying to balance these two things. But I really wonder what would happen if I just poured everything into the exam or the academics every week. I'm not going to do it right now, but you know, that is a thought. So we're going to do that, and then we'll go ahead and use the rest of our energy studying up. And this week is actually going to be a bye week, so we just get to move on to the next one. And as we go to the next week, we will get to play Kennesaw State. I highly doubt we're actually going to get a chance to step into the game, but we will do that to get a skill point. And then I think we're going to go ahead and recover just a bit. And now we'll spend the rest on studying once again. And once again, here is the run out because we have a home game, but it is going to be the same exact thing. So we'll just jump to the end and see what the score is. All right, we handled Kennesaw State a lot better than we handled an FCS school. Final score of this one is 34-3. You have one of your first big tests of the year in your government lecture this week. Our office is open. Are you going to come in and study? Sure, we'll study moderately, burn a couple energy there. Hopefully we still have some to use. Yeah, we still have 4 points to use, so we should be fine. Our next game is actually a rivalry game against Pitt. I have been getting gold in practice every single week, so we're up to 1,800 on Coach Trust right now, but we're still pretty far behind the third running back because he's at 11,000. But let's go ahead and spend some skill points here. We only have 4 energy to burn, and I think we're just going to do it on a skill point that doesn't even, I don't think it actually even gave us a skill point. We didn't get all the way up, but then we will go ahead and just burn the rest on studying. And it looks like we are off to a 3-0 start on the year, getting a win here. I think 19-13. I don't know why it's not showing the final score, but we did pick up the win. And just so you guys can see it, that actually was the final score. Well, we apparently got a good grade on that thing that we studied for last week, and she's telling us not to forget about midterms. I understand that. And our next game is against the Yukon Huskies, but obviously we'll take care of the weekly agenda here by throwing 1 into skill points, and then we'll go ahead and study with the rest of it just so we get closer to actually passing. And I'm not gonna lie here, Yukon's entrance actually looked pretty good right there, at least that opening shot. I also really do like their uniforms. I think it's a nice clean look. But anyway, let's go ahead and go to the end of the game. And our dream of an undefeated season will come to an end by a final score of 17-10. So our first loss on the year goes to Yukon. Well, as we try to put that loss behind us and we move 1 game closer to actually getting redshirted for our freshman season, which is kind of the goal at this point, to be completely honest. But our next game is going to be against an undefeated SMU. We are going to go burn some on a skill point here, and then the rest of our energy will go into studying. And we now are at least at degrees. We may get up to flying colors, but I'm not going to guarantee that. Another game and another chance we won't touch the field. And are we going to lose 2 games in a row? After a 3-0 start, we are in some danger here at home. And yeah, we are not winning this one. Final score, I believe, was 31-10, and we now fall to 3-2. Offensive coordinator Jeff Nixon wants to talk to us. Let's see if you're paying attention to meetings. Which of these is a gap scheme? That's a good question. I'm gonna guess this one. All right, I got it right. What is the next question? If we have you block the edge and the entire offensive line blocks away from you towards the other side, what is that protection called? A full slide? All right, yeah, we got it. If we want you a part, I'm sorry, I can't read. If we want you a part of the route combination and we're running a sail play out of 2x2, what route would you likely be on? A swing route. All right, we got all 3 right. That was completely me guessing. Audrey, what do you want? Didn't we meet last year? My sorority Epsilon Alpha is throwing an initiation party on Wednesday, and you should come. I'm skipping our lab. You should too. I'm just gonna, you know what? We are here to focus on football. We're gonna decline that offer for now. I don't care if she lost interest. Well, since we are at degrees right now, I'm actually not gonna burn any more skill points on that. We're gonna throw 1 into this, and I believe that gave us a skill point. I didn't actually see how many we had before I clicked that, so that's kind of on me. But I also am, you know what? We'll go ahead and burn 1 more. So we're up to, does that just say we have 1 skill point now? Never mind. I am looking at the energy, not the skill point. Completely ignore me. Let's go ahead and spend it on a little bit of engagement with our fans so we can maybe unlock some NIL deals. And we're on to our next game against Virginia, where we immediately go down 14-0. Do we have any chance to fight back? Well, now it's 21-3. We're going into the fourth quarter, 28-3. Yeah, we're going to have 3 losses in a row here. This team has quickly fallen apart. Maybe that first game against an FCS school was more of a sign than we actually thought. Just because we rebounded well against Kennesaw State doesn't mean much. And we officially have had our midterms. Let's see what we actually got on it if they tell us immediately. Straight B's, not bad. When you've got a minute, take a look if it affected your GPA. I will gladly take that. Well, unfortunately, on one of the runs of this week's practice, I did not really pay attention, got hit in the backfield, lost my multiplier, and could not get it back. We're not going to retry or anything. We'll just take the silver for the 1 week. But this does mean we now have to go back to studying, which is not always fun to do. We are going to try to get a skill point here, and we will get one. And then we'll throw, I think, 3 into studying, and then we're going to go ahead and go back and try to build up our NIL opportunities just a little bit more. But now let's see if we can finally snap our losing streak. We are facing a 3-3 North Carolina team. Loser of this game falls below 500. We go into the fourth quarter up 14-0. Now it's 21-0, 28-0, and we will get out of here with a win. Upsetting, I don't even know if it's an upset. We beat the fake Bill Belichick because Bill Belichick's not actually in the game, but we do take him down. And we rebound nicely from our silver badge last week to come back and get a gold badge this week. Hurdle this man into the end zone. And as for the weekly agenda, we do have 6 skill points to use, so we'll go ahead and burn 2 here, get a skill point. I'm sorry, we have 6 energy to use, and that's going to burn 3, so I guess we'll go ahead and study again and do 1 more, and now come down here and 1 more time, I guess, deal with fans to try to build up our NIL slot still. But our next game is against the number 8 team in the country. Louisville has a 6-1 record. We have gotten off to a pretty solid start here. We went to halftime up 7-3. No one scores in the third quarter, and now in the fourth quarter, we get another touchdown, and we will hand them their 2nd loss on the season. This one is definitely going to be called an upset. Following that game, Coach Fran Brown says, "We've been so pleased with how you've been doing lately. Keep it up. You're setting a great example for other players." I mean, I'm running back 4. I don't know what else you want me to do, Coach. We have another rivalry game this week, and it's going to be against Boston College, but let's go ahead and burn our weekly agenda energy first. We'll go ahead and do that. We actually get 2 skill points because we're close to the cap on that one, so we're up to 11 skill points right now. And then we'll obviously burn just a little bit into academics, and then come back and get, I guess, more on social media again. If we can manage to actually win this game, we will become bowl eligible, which would be pretty nice. At least if we can win a bowl game, we'll get something in our trophy case for this year. We are currently tied up at 10 though, and now we take the lead and the time runs out. We escape here with a victory and improve to 6-3 on the season. And now Mackenzie wants to talk to us. We're in the same health science class. I found an old copy of our first test on this quiz website. I was going to look it over instead of studying. Want to come over and study with me? I mean, that's a really big risk. I feel like last year's game, it always seemed to bite you. I'm not going to risk it here. That is going to burn 3 energy, which really sucks. But we also have our first NIL deal at Chef's Sporting Goods. So this is our proposal for a 3-week contract for a cost of 1 energy per week. We get a skill point and 350 followers for each week of the contract. I mean, I guess we'll go ahead and take that. And the reason I took that NIL deal is because, yes, it costs us 1 energy per week, but it's giving us a skill point every week along with more followers. So it's actually just kind of burning 1 skill point to do both of those. And then hopefully we can just throw the rest into studying and not fail our final exams. We have already taken down the number 8 team in the country once this season. Let's see if we can do it again as we take on Notre Dame. Well, at halftime, we're down by 3. We have only scored 7 points in this entire game. Notre Dame just took a 10-point lead, and they will not fall to us this time. No upset for Syracuse this time around. 17-7 is your final score. Let's see what our coach wants this time. Our senior banquet is this week. We'd like the freshmen to assist with putting everything up and taking everything down. Be at the banquet hall at 6 p.m. on a Wednesday. This is not optional. Sure, man, I guess I'll be there. However, our responsibilities to our team leave us with less energy for you to spend this week. You won't be a freshman forever. And apparently our kicker is contacting us. You know the economics class we're in together. They're giving extra credit if you watch this documentary on consumer equilibrium and demand and give. An in-class presentation. You want to watch it together? I do not need the GPA boost, to be completely honest, so no, I don't want to. And our next opponent is going to be against Clemson, who is ranked number 13. But first, we're going to take care of the weekly practice. Checking in on our coach trust, we are now at 4,100 following this week's practice. Obviously, we are still pretty far away from the third string running back at 11,200, but the only perk we don't have is to call audibles at 16,000. And I'm really not worried about getting that right now. So I think the rest of the season, I'm probably just going to be simulating the practice because I've been doing it every single week. We now have hot routes, and I'm really just, like I said, not concerned about audibles right now. So I'm going to be simulating those from here on out, or at least for the remainder of this season. But we have 4 energy to use right now. So let's go ahead and try to study. We do have an exam in 3 weeks, and I'm really kind of concerned about that, but I don't know if I want to burn. Yeah, we'll go ahead and burn just 2 more energy studying, I guess, so we can get closer to actually passing that. And we are back home to take on Clemson. They immediately take a 7-0 lead, and we have still not found the scoreboard at all as we go to halftime. And now into the third quarter, still nothing on the board for us, and the game is winding down, and we're going to lose this game 7-0. An incredibly low-scoring game. But yeah, now we've lost 2 in a row again. We now only have 1 regular season game left on our freshman season, and that is against the 4-7 California Golden Bears. But we are going to jump into the weekly agenda here. We have 5 energy to burn, and we're going to use that on studying at least for the first 2. We'll get into the degree section, and this is the final week for our NIL deal, and we have 2 energy left. Why not just throw it into that and get up to 15 skill points? And I am going to assume you guys know exactly what I've been saving up all of these skill points for, because I want to upgrade our speed again. And we go from 89 to 91. So to get shifty, we're going to have to upgrade that at least 1 more time. We're also going to need to upgrade our chain of direction as well, because I think that needs to be an 87. It's currently an 86. So it's still going to be a bit before we get shifty at all. But I'm still fine with a 91 speed, 93 acceleration for now. All right, we're going to have a close one here in the fourth quarter, and as soon as I started talking, they took a 2-score lead. So just to recap this season, we won 3 in a row, then we lost 3 in a row, then we won 3 in a row, and then we lost 3 in a row. This team is incredibly volatile. The next week is, in fact, a bye week. We have 6 energy to burn, and we're going to use them both on, or pretty much everything on skill points here. And then I guess we'll engage with the community a little bit more. We have now taken our finals, and let's see if we actually manage to pass them. We should have no problem. It's all B's yet again, and I will once again take that. We do not need to worry about academics at all anymore at this point in the season, so just throw it all into XP. We're up to 4 skill points. We have 2 left. You know what? We'll just throw that in there as well, and we are seriously at a risk for injury, but we don't play anyway. And that was conference championship week anyway, so it really didn't matter at all that we are slightly injured. But we will go back into the weekly agenda again and continue to throw stuff at skill points. And you know what? We'll do 1 more. Their health is too low to train. Okay, did not know that was even a thing that could happen, so we'll throw a couple into that and then come back and train that some more. And your Heisman Trophy winner for this season is Darian Mensah, I guess the quarterback for Texas Tech, with 3,700 yards and 36 touchdowns. We have been invited to play in the Fenway Bowl against UAV. Obviously, we have not really been invited because I highly doubt we will touch the field. Well, I'm going to assume you guys know exactly what I'm going to do here. We're going to burn these skill points, or burn our energy points to get some skill points. We have 3 left, so we'll throw it into that, and then we will go ahead and heal up a little bit. It is now officially time to wrap up our freshman season. We will be getting red-shirted because I don't think we've touched the field at all unless for some reason it simulated us getting on the field, which I don't think happened. Well, I guess if you go off this team's current run right now, we would be in line to win this game considering the pattern that we've had this season. I don't know what would happen, for the remaining 2 games, or maybe we'll use all of our power here in this game and just completely blow them out. But we do get to run out for the bowl game here. This is the only action you will get to see and the only time you will step on the field. Let's just see how the team does. At the end of the first quarter, we are down. Well, now it's 14-0. Approaching halftime, we're down 21-0 now. Did the team show up to play? Are we going to find the scoreboard at all today? Yeah, we finally will, but we lose the Fenway Bowl by a final score of 27-7. Well, we are now at the end of our freshman season. Let's go ahead and see who won the national championship. That is going to be Texas beating Georgia 56-28. So a pretty dominant national championship win. But now we have the choice to enter the transfer portal. And I kind of want to see what our backfield looks like going into Syracuse next season, because I would actually like to see the field at least a little bit next year. But Ford and Willis are both juniors, so they will both be going into their senior year. Obviously, either one of them could leave for the NFL if they wanted to. And Hart is just going to be a junior, so he is guaranteed to stay unless he transfers out. So I do not think we're going to come back to Syracuse. Now, I may have to go take a look at the Rutgers depth chart because they have 3 running backs that are all listed as seniors, so there is a chance we could start there. I don't think that's how that would go because it looks like Tullis down here is just a redshirt sophomore, so he would probably end up being the starter over us for a bit. But there was another school, and it is the Tulsa Golden Hurricane, because right now they have us listed as the second string, but their running back is a senior, so we may come here and be the starter immediately. Now, it does say it's an F for school fit, but I don't think we're going to finish out our career here. I just want to actually get on the field. So for right now, we will be taking our talents to Tulsa. Now, unfortunately, our number apparently is not available currently at Tulsa, so we will be wearing number 28 for now, but we'll see if it's available once we actually get into the next season. Well, this is what greets us as we get to Tulsa. It's actually a position battle for the number 1 running back spot. To be completely honest, I've only done the rushing attack drill, so I don't know how I will do in these. Run through all the circular hotspots as quickly as possible to earn points and then head to the end zone. Each hotspot you enter will cause a new one to appear elsewhere, eventually allow you access downfield. Running out of bounds will result in a failure. Okay, so we want to go here, and then we want to go here, and then 3, 2, 1, and we'll cut through here and into the end zone. All right, pretty simple, I feel like. We need to get 4,000 points in order to actually defeat this, and we'll have to win 2 of the 3 drills. So now as we go up here, we'll go here, cut here, and dive into the end zone. So now, I don't know how many times we have to do this, but 3, nope, need to get that one. I may have screwed that up, to be completely honest. And we'll cut this way, run into our own blocker, but we're still going to find the end zone at 2,300 points. Okay, we have 2 reps remaining. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and now just start sprinting up field. We'll cut here, go through, and in. So we're at 3,200 now. Need to get one more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go up here, go through the gap, and into the end zone. So we at least win that one. Now rushing attack, extra aggression. So is our quarterback number 20? Is that who has our number? Is our quarterback? That is disgusting, but we're going to try this anyway. We need to beat 12,000 points here, and we're off to a not very good start. 4 defenders on the field is actually kind of crazy, but we will find the end zone this time. So we're at 700 now. We only have a minute to actually do this one. I think the regular rushing attack gives you like a minute and a half. So this only gives you a minute. Kind of insane. Go to the outside, and no. All right, we're not finding much space there. And I'm trying to follow our block. We'll go to the outside this time and get into the end zone. 36 seconds remaining. If we win this one, we will have officially just taken the position battle. I think it still makes you do all 3 drills anyway. 30 seconds remaining. Just get to the outside, and I cannot get away from these guys. 25 seconds now. I honestly don't think we're going to get this one, but we are finding the end zone there. So we get our multiplier to ×4, and we just need a couple like really big plays like this one right here that'll get us into the end zone. So we're at 8,000 now with 16 seconds to go with a ×5 multiplier, and we're going to get brought down. So we have 9,000 points here, 11 seconds to go. And just follow our blocker up the middle to absolutely nothing. 9,200 points. 7 seconds remaining. Just take it to the outside. I'm trying to spin back in and get away from these guys, but it's obviously not working. This might be the final play we have, and we will just beat that. Now we have the jump cut drill. Not that it really matters, I don't believe. And somehow we managed to avoid that. We'll avoid that. And this was going to come through, and that actually hit us, but I don't really care because we have already won the position battle. And there it is. Will Pearson will be the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes starting running back heading into this season. And we will be jumping into that game today, but I do want to take care of a few things first. The first thing I want to see, though, is our coach trust is at 4,700. Where is the running back to? Like, how close are we to losing our job? Roderick Bobo has negative 200, so not really close at all. And then I don't know what these guys did to the coach, but he does not like them. But circling back over to the actual weekly agenda, obviously we are going to burn a skill point here. And then I guess we'll use one to recover that. I may actually have to watch that now that we are actually starting, but we will go ahead and upgrade our academics just a bit. But now it is finally time for us to jump into our very first start, as we will take on the Oklahoma State Cowboys in the Turnpike Classic. And from what I just saw, it looks like we are going to have to deal with some rain in today's game as Oklahoma State makes their entrance. And I honestly don't know how good our offensive line is, or if this is going to be a big-time struggle today. It does look like we get the ball first today, and we'll come out in a shotgun set. And yeah, our quarterback is wearing number 20. That is absolutely disgusting. But we'll try to follow our blocks to the outside, and our first career carry is a gain of 5. All right, now a 2nd and 5 for us, and we'll come out. He's immediately throwing the ball to us. We get the first down, spinning out a defender, and we're brought down at about the 38-yard line. On the very next play, back in a shotgun set again, and we're going to take the handoff up the middle for, I guess, just a couple yards. Wasn't really much space on that one. I know so far they're just giving the ball to us a lot, but we're going to do it one more time here. It's going to be a screen pass to the outside. The blocking sets up, and we're going to make it a 3rd and 2. I am pretty sure we actually just got injured on the play, so I guess we're going to be jumping forward a bit. All right, so they only took us out for, I think, a play. We got the first down, and they're just showing like the same plays over and over again. I don't think there's much variety in the play calling right now, but we'll take the handoff, and we're going to get brought down for a 6-yard play. All right, I'll sit back here and block this time. 2nd and 4. Hopefully our quarterback does something cool, and that one's going to fall incomplete. Let's see if we can get another screen pass to work for us on this 3rd down. Out of shotgun, it'll be a quick throw to the outside, and race to the edge. We get the first down, and we accidentally stepped out of bounds. I don't know if the playbook we're using only has a few plays, but oh my god, this is a 3rd and 16. I did not mean to call a run play on that, but we're going to get stuffed anyway. We got taken out of the game, and I didn't even notice when we came back in it was that long of a 3rd down. On our next drive, we'll come out and get the handoff, run into our own blocker, and get a 1-yard play. All right, now a 2nd and 9. Alford, can you do anything here? We'll take the snap, and it'll be a quick throw that's caught, and we'll set up a 3rd and 9 because he got absolutely nothing on the play. Yeah, this is a really weird playbook because I think we only have like 6 plays in the entire thing. May have to change our playbook following this game because that's a little bit absurd. A quick throw to the outside, and that screen is going nowhere. Looks like Oklahoma State would score on their next drive to make it a 7-0 ball game. We'll come out with this handoff again to the outside, and we're going to get met and brought down. Well, now it's a 2nd and 9. Back in a shotgun set again. We're going to try this screen. There's not really much else we can do here. To the outside, we'll have the first down and get brought down at about the 48-yard line. Hey, look, I think this is a different run play. I haven't actually seen this one yet, so we'll go ahead and call it. 1st and 10, we'll take the snap, try to follow our blocks, and we'll have a decent gain here. The first down all the way to the 32. All right, they're finally opening up the playbook. We would get subbed out for a minute, but now it's a 2nd and 8, and we have this counter play that is going to result in a gain of at least a few yards. We would get subbed out for a minute again, but now with a 1:38 and a half, we come back in. And we are supposed to be going out for a pass here. We'll make the catch, and I wanted to hurdle somebody. I'm pretty thankful they actually brought me down. I don't think a hurdle would have gone too well there. Let's try this halfback wheel and see if he immediately throws us the ball. 2nd and 1. There's the snap, and he's going to just take off, I guess, and slide down about the 5-yard line. 1st and goal. Well, this time it's going to be an RPO, so we'll see if we get to keep the ball, and we do not. What are you doing? He fumbled it. Thankfully, we recovered. What were you trying to do there? Because it's an RPO. You're supposed to get rid of the ball immediately. 2nd and goal, all the way back at the 13-yard line. Can we follow our blocks? Not very well. Maybe I need to change the camera angle a bit because I feel like the camera angle is really messing with me trying to follow blocks. But it'll be a screen to the outside. And our block will pick up there. And we get met and brought down to the 8-yard line. 4th and goal coming up, and I'm assuming we'll just kick a field goal. Yeah, I am definitely going to have to change the playbook following this game because these plays are just not working. We did make the field goal, so it's 7-3. And now we come out for our next drive with a run of about 7 yards. Let's see what happens on this 2nd and 3. Take the snap, and he's going to throw to the other side. I can't see what's going on, and it sets up a 3rd and 1. So we should be able to come out, and I want to try just a quick run play. So I guess we'll do this inside zone, and I'll attempt to follow my blocks for the 1st down. There's the snap up the middle, and we'll at least keep the drive moving. Time for another screen. I don't know how many catches we actually have today, but this is going to add another one. And our blocking actually sets up, and we get another 1st down. At this point, I'm just calling the different plays that I actually see. So we'll come out in motion this time. And I did not follow the route at all, but it's not going to matter because we get a massive reception. All right, now it's a 1st and 10 later on in the drive. We would get subbed out for a minute, but we come back in here, get the handoff, and we'll take this play that I think I've ran multiple times now for a gain of 5. And look, it's a different play call, a halfback dive right up the middle. So we'll go ahead and call that. About 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Handoff, and we'll have the 1st down. We'll get met, and we're actually fighting, but we're brought down to 21. We would once again get subbed out for a play, now a 2nd and 9. And we'll come out for this wheel route that he immediately throws to us. We get the 1st down to the outside and get out of bounds at the 7-yard line, bringing up a 1st and goal. And I obviously would have loved to have been a part of the 1st touchdown of the season, but I was not on the field. But we now have a 10-7 lead, and we come out for the next play that we start at the 27-yard line and lose 3 on a screen. So we'll just run this power 0 that we've ran multiple times today. About 4.5 minutes to go in the game. We'll take the snap, go to the outside, and I don't know why I spun there, but we at least got a yard out of it. That sets up a 3rd and 12. We'll come out. Is he going to throw this one to us? Yes, he will on the outside, and we're brought out of the 19-yard line. Brings up a 4th and 6. We have over 100 receiving yards today. We have 12 catches for 101 yards, and we make that field goal, and we come out. We still have a 6-point lead, but we are starting this drive from about the 8-yard line here. So on a 2nd and 10, run this play again, and it's not going to get much. You know what? Screw it. Run the screen one more time. 3rd and 11. A quick throw to the outside, and that doesn't work at all. We actually break that tackle and get to the outside. I thought there was a chance we were going to get to the marker. It brings up a 4th and 3. However, our defense got us the ball back. We're still up by 6, a minute 47 to go. We're going to come out and run this counter play, just trying to burn time. They will burn that final timeout. We just might be able to come in here and upset Oklahoma State to start their season. 2nd and 7. It's a handoff to the outside, and that's going nowhere. Just looking at this again, we're actually going to call this hook Z post because we haven't seen this one too often. We're just going on a little swing route to the outside, so hopefully he tries to go a little bit farther downfield. And never mind, he's getting sacked on the play. At least the clock will run down. Are you kidding me? They got the ball back and scored in the final seconds to get out of here with a 14-13 victory. That kind of sucks. We definitely need to change our playbook because we did not have but I think maybe like 12 plays to pick from the entire game. And obviously I was using us a lot. I tried to call other pass plays and he did stupid stuff like take a sack, and then we had incomplete passes. But whatever, we lose this game. And it shows our rushing stats, but I don't think that's the reason we won the American Offensive Player of the Week award. I think it's because the over 100 receiving yards, but either way, I will take the award. And apparently our schedule is not going to get any easier because in the next game we get to take on Arkansas, but that is not going to be in this episode. We will pick up here in the next one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you next time.